What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Scarfe Spurs Talk podcast. Yes, an extra episode this week. I'm now on half term, so I thought, why not? And there's no Spurs games this week, so no loss to discuss. So I had to get on, take advantage of that. And I'm joined by a great panel as always this evening. Connor, welcome back. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. All good. Thank you very much. Rachel, it's been a while, but it's great to have you back on. How you doing?
I'm not bad, thank you. Thank you for having me back. Much appreciated.
No problem. Thank you. It's always great to have you on. Because when we first set up the podcast, you're one of the first guests, weren't you, to come on? So
Yes, I was.
thank
And
you.
then I
It's
had
great
me,
to have you
me
back.
heart problem, didn't I? So
You did. Yeah. It's great to see you recovered, and it's great to have you back on
thank
talking
you.
Tottenham. So yeah, thank you, Rachel. Justin, welcome back again. It's been a little while. Always great to have you on as well. How you doing, my friend?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm all good, all good. Just happy to talk Tottenham. It's always a good one.
Absolutely, that's what we like to hear. Thank you very much again as well for coming on. If you are new to the channel, guys, please do smash the subscribe button. It's free to do so. It does help the channel and the podcast grow. If you're listening via audio, don't forget to drop us a follow and a 5-star review. But yeah, we'll be talking everything Manchester United ahead of this game. So let's crack straight into it. I want to start with the protests because people haven't seen it. There is a planned protest, a march, whatever you want to call it, proposed by Change for Tottenham tomorrow. So I want to go around the panel and get, kind of people's thoughts on that. And Connor, I'll kick it off with you. Are you behind Change for Tottenham and what they propose ahead of tomorrow's game? Because it's quite big, isn't it? It's got a lot of media coverage as well.
Yeah, I am behind change for Tottenham. I do agree with a lot of the stuff because it's just about trying to fight for getting our club back. Really, it's annoying. It's been quite a while, but I don't know whether the protest will be so good because the last one we had, if you remember, that was probably a couple months ago. I don't know whether this one's got more attention because, to be honest, I haven't seen a lot about it.
It
But I
seems to be
remember
that way with
watching.
the media coverage at GB News today, BBC Sport.
Right, I didn't see that, but the last one I saw, it was a little bit. I don't know. It just looked a little bit pathetic in the end. Obviously, I know it's rich for me to sit there and say that because I wasn't there. I'm not protesting, but watching it, it just looked a little bit almost cringe. It's just like it was just like 10 people
That's
chanting
not
different
true.
things.
Sorry.
Who do you think there's more people there?
There was more than 10 people. I'm sorry, I had to butt in on that one. No, there was more than 10 people, and every protest, there's been more than 10 people. I've been at pretty much every protest, and there's a
I'm not
lot
saying
more
you weren't,
people.
and I'm not saying there was 10 people, but what I'm saying is it's almost like looking at like a handful of people, and it's great. I agree with what they're doing, but we need to get more people going. But obviously, again, like I say, it's rich for me to say that and not go.
It's
But
very
that's the way I see
diverted
it.
at the moment. It's started to turn, and a lot of people are now wanting Levy out, like want him gone, because we've had enough of the way he has done. He has ripped the soul out of our club. We are not Tottenham Football Club anymore. We're Tottenham Entertaining, and that's not right.
Interesting. Thank you very much, both of you, for the discussion. Justin, I'll bring you in on this one. How do you feel about, I kind of leave it, Enoch, but also what's the plan to go ahead tomorrow?
To be honest, I'm happy to see that more people are coming together to try and get these jokers out of the club. It's a weird one for me because I can see what the business side of it has done and has grown Tottenham, and it's capable of bringing in a lot of money. So I can see that side of it. But then because it was supposed to be game-changing stadium and everything was then supposed to work in our favour with FFP and everything else what's supposed to happen, and we're still short every season. We still don't get the top quality players. The wage bill's so low. So to be honest, I've been waiting for people to be on. Like me personally, I was Levy out from when we won the League Cup and then we sold Berbatov and King. For me, I was just like, obviously you don't want to win nothing else. Then
You've been
that's
for a
it.
long while.
Yeah, for a long while, because I saw that and it just said to me, well, why would you sell your best? Because everyone kept saying if Tottenham don't win nothing, we won't keep our best players. And then we won something and we didn't keep our best players. So to me, it just made no sense. So from that process onwards, I've been out, especially like how Martin Yole got sacked at half time, just stuff like that. It's just distasteful for me personally as a fan. So good on them. I work with them, so I can't actually be at the march and all that because I'll actually work in pre-hand. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to try and at least change something. The only thing I don't understand is it change for Tottenham as in they just want a change, or is it like they want Levy, the board gone, or is it that they want him to change his
God.
like way of doing things? Because obviously that's not going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
we want Levy out. We want him gone. Like, I am changed for. I'm not. I don't run it. I'm not behind it. I'm with the Levy out group. Right. So because we're two different groups, but I back change for Tottenham, 100%. They've got my full backing, and but
Yeah,
enough's enough.
you've been leaving out for a long while, haven't you? You've been behind what Brian
Yes.
Daigle's done in the past, and
Yes, I've
you're
been
part
with
of that
Brian.
group.
I've been in the
Yeah,
rain with Brian, all of them. We've been
yeah,
out there, and I will back change for Tottenham. What they're trying to do, everything they're doing, want to do, because enough's enough. We've had enough of the same thing that comes out every single season. We haven't got no money. We can't do this. We can't do that. Oh, but we can have all these concerts at Tottenham. That's fine. Fair enough. But put it back into the team. We can march on. We still haven't done nothing. We're still where we was. We're worse off now than I think we've ever been in a while. Do you get what I'm saying? And
yeah.
it's not right. Last time we won a trophy, my son was 1. He's going to be 18 this year. So that's how I know is my son is going to be 18 in June, and that was the last time he was 1. Just before he was 1, we won that trophy,
Mm.
and
One,
it's not right.
yeah.
Enough's enough. He ain't
Okay.
about. He doesn't love Tottenham. He doesn't want to be at Tottenham.
Is
He's
it
just there
Levy
for
or
the money.
Enoch though, Rachel, for you, or is it a combination of both? The way the club's maybe
Both.
being run, I think
It
it's
starts
the
from the top.
yeah, I agree with that. I just think it's the ownership. I think you remove Daniel Levy and you still have the way, just the way we go about things and put like whether it be profit before glory or just
Doesn't he partly own Enoch as well though?
yeah, he does.
He's not. He's like he's not just like a chairman. Like he's part owner in
No,
that as well.
Even new owners, I think he's still going to be there. That's the thing.
no, they
Interesting.
can. That if no, they don't have to keep Levy on as chairman.
I can't see. I know what you mean, but I think that Levy.
That's
I
why
just find
none of them
it
sell
hard to
out,
see him going.
because Levy wants to stay as chairman.
But I think he will. If I'm honest with you, I think he'd be here for years. I think it's just whether Enoch decides to sell.
I think you have to do like a hostile takeover and buy all of Joe Lewis's shares, because as soon as that's done, he's got the majority shares anyway. But I think that Levy's got something set that no one can just go and buy all of his shares like that.
No, it is interesting. And today there's been a lot of rumours around potential Qatari
It happens
investment,
every
Qatari
protest.
ownership. Yeah, I tell you what, Rachel, we'll come to you with that. Do you believe any of that, and would you be for
I
Qatari
don't
sports
believe it.
investment?
I believe it's all been put out. Yet again, every time there's a big protest or something's happening, it gets put out there. All this someone wants to buy.
You think it's deliberate? It's just
We're
false.
looking at this player. We're going to have this player in the summer. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then once it stops, then it ends. You don't hear nothing more. We was going to be Amazon with everything. Every time there is a blow up on a protest to get them out, this comes out. It's to put fans off because he tries to win. He lies. He's a liar. He lies through his teeth. He has done and always will do. We are going nowhere until we can get rid of him.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Connor, Qatari investment. How do you view it? Is it?
I don't want
Is
it. I don't want it.
positive? Yeah.
I'd much rather have. And I don't know. People might not agree because money's money, and at the end of the day, it will win you trophies, and that's inevitable. But at the same time, from like a moral point of view, I feel like I wouldn't want money from over there. I'd much rather have it from sort of something like Enoch, nothing like that sort of ownership, but an actual massive company that comes in and buys your club. Hopefully, putting in more effort, but I don't want a Qatari investment. It's just not something I personally like or agree with.
Interesting. Thank you, Connor. Justin, how do you feel about ownership? Potentially coming from the Qataris, taking over from Enoch. Is this what we want to see? Are you with Connor? You have concerns about this?
It gets a bit sticky because if we're going to get into like ethics of money, like how did Joe Lewis make his money in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like let's be real. He was on big type of fraud and did a lot of things what hurt a lot of people. So it's a balance. I just look at it as like when it comes down to it, deep down, I just want my team to win games, win cups. I'll deal with whatever else outside of that in it. Because if you look under every stone, everywhere's got a problem, like deep down. But obviously, I'd prefer better owners who aren't doing nothing illegal. But these days, yeah, it's very hard to find that and someone silly enough to invest into football. Let's be honest, football is it's a lose-lose type of situation. You put in money and it's just all risk. It's just all risk, and you're just hoping that these assets who are players are gonna blossom and do something for you. So yeah, we need kind of stupid owners, but in a way that they're prepared to take that risk. Whereas Daniel, he's an investor and an accountant, and he's not going to take that risk. He'd prefer to put 300 million on a hotel because he knows that hotel will definitely be built and it will definitely be filled up. Whereas a player, he throws money on players. He looks at it like, say, he puts money on Ndombele and it's just flopped for him. So why would he want to then put another big investment down on an asset? So because I look at Daniel like that, I can't really see too many people who are going to come in and be prepared to actually throw a lot of money into Tottenham at the moment. That's the only thing. Until Daniel's done everything what he's done and built the portfolio to how he wants it to look, I think it's going to be a long time until he actually sells, to be honest. At least till the hotel's done, like at least.
I agree with you that it's going to be a long time. I think that he's going to be here regardless. But yeah, I think I do support what Change for Tottenham are trying to do. Seem like a good group, want the best. And I think however you feel about the ownerships or Levy or the board, I think we all want them to do more, to be more ambitious to a certain extent. And I think that's what this group can represent. It's balanced, peaceful. And yeah, it's just asking your club to do more when you're paying higher season ticket prices. So I do support that part of it. However, I do think we're left with Levy either way. But I want to move on to the game itself. I want to start with talking about opposition, Manchester United. And I'm going to play a quick clip now from Sean from Stretford End. I want to thank him firstly for sending in the clip. We're talking about a massive page over on X, so hundreds of thousands of followers. So appreciate Sean for taking the time to do this. Here's what he had to say ahead of tomorrow's game.
Hi Harry, Sean from Stretford End here. A few thoughts I have for the game coming up next Sunday. Spurs at United is I think it's a must not lose for both teams. Both managers are under immense amount of pressure. Both very much different cycles at their clubs. I think Ange looks like he might be coming to the end of it. I seen his press conference yesterday after the Villa lost in the FA Cup. He seemed very agitated, seemed like a man that knows the walls are closing in. Whereas you look at Ruben Amorim, and he's also under pressure at United, but it's very much the pressure to be the guy, the new guy, to get United back on track. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting a brilliant game. Both teams are really struggling to score at the minute. I think it's going to be a game that'll be won in the midfield. Both midfields do bring a lot of energy. It's more the quality that you worry about. I think, as far as the goal threat for both teams, I think if United can stop Kulusevski and keep him quiet, and very much for Spurs, I think if they can keep Ahmed quiet, you rule out pretty much most of the goal threat for both teams. I'm always confident, even though the last two results against Spurs this season, United have lost, I'm always confident against Spurs. Maybe Spurs are the same against United. I do think we'll get the win. I think we'll win 2-1. I think we'll scrape. I don't think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be low quality. But I think United, coming off the win against Leicester, even though unconvincing, I think will give us a bit of a boost going into it. And I think it's the best time to play with your injuries. And yeah, hopefully we can move out 13th and push for a little bit better of a second half of the season. Maybe finish 9th or 10th and see what we can do in the Cups.
Thank you very much to Sean again for sending in his thoughts. Very modest, but is looking forward to the game, which is interesting. I mean, people you speak to are looking forward to this game. It's still, regardless how both teams have been playing, it's Tottenham versus Man United. It is a big game. Connor, what have you made of Man United this season, but in particular them under Ruben Amorim? Because they've tightened up recently in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think the only way is up for United, to be honest, at the moment. With Amorim, like, we know he's a good manager, so I think it's just a matter of time for them before they'll start seeing progress. Probably, I don't think it'll be this season. I think probably as of next season they'll give him his first summer window, and then they'll probably kick on. But as for tomorrow, yeah, I do agree. I think it's going to be probably a very boring game.
Okay, I don't think it'd be boring, to be honest with you. I think when you have players like Bruno Fernandes on the pitch, capable of, we know he's capable of Kulusevski.
Well, not boring, but like both teams are
Not
just
a lot of
constantly
goals.
good. Yeah.
Tight. Yeah. I can understand that. And he makes a good point, doesn't he, in terms of both teams have had a problem with scoring. United have all season. We have, since Solanke's been out, I think we lack that hold-up play, that creativity. We're still scoring goals, but we've struggled to create those chances. We've dropped deeper and been more defensive. It was interesting to hear. I watched Alistair Gold's interview with Ange Postecoglou, how he's like, look, I'm not telling them to do this. This is just a little bit of fatigue. It's a little bit of, different players in different situations. So he's not telling them to go deeper, but I think that's what we've been seeing recently. Rachael, talk to me about Manchester United, Amorim. What have you made of them?
I thought when he first came in, like, I was a bit wobbly still. I don't think they've turned that corner. I still think that even on our good day, we could beat them. At the moment, we're embarrassing to watch. We're a laughing stock of the Premier League. We're a laughing stock of every single fan in everything. But I do think that we could go and win it. And I think it would be the last minute of a game, to be honest. I think they'd be all over us as well. And I just think Ange is going to say, I feel sorry for Ange. Like, he's very stubborn. And he won't change his tactics. He won't change nothing. And he's in his mindset as a manager. It's his team. He will do what he wants. But I do not believe they're his players. But you know how I feel, Harry. I believe they are Levy's players. It's Levy that wanted them. I do not care what anyone says on that matter. I do not. Yes, they give Angie this. Angie wants it. No, I don't believe that. Thank you very much. That's my opinion. I've had that opinion for a very long time, and I won't change my opinion on that. And we're in this state because of Levy, not our manager.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you very much. You make some good points. I know, to be fair, you felt that way for a long while, ever since you come on the podcast. I know you have for years. So, and you turn up to all the protests, something you feel strongly about. So you showed that dedication. So I think you absolutely do deserve that opinion to stick with it. So thank you very much, Rachael.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No worries. Justin, I'll come to you. Tonight, the news broke out that Amad Diallo will miss this game, and he confirmed it in a statement on social media. He's actually out for a long while as well. I mean, it's a real blow for Man United. We're talking about United's top scorer this season, but he's been a key player, isn't he, for Ruben Amorim. It's good for us though, isn't it, that he's unavailable for this one?
Yeah, like shamelessly, I love it. I'll just be real. We don't need no good players giving us a problem tomorrow whatsoever. So when I saw that news, I was like, you know what? My confidence is back. I'm going for a nice, good whooping. To be honest, yeah, he's a good manager. And what I was always worried about was the whole bit of we'll just sack Ange and not get a new manager bounce. And I feel like Man U have been a nice little reminder that it doesn't always just go straight in your favour. It's not like how Everton are running at the moment where Moyes has just turned it around. Just weirdly enough, it just has to happen. But yeah, he's a good manager. I wanted him at Tottenham, to be honest. But I'm not worried about Man U. Like I'm really not. No matter how bad we are, something about Man U at the moment. Yeah, I'm just not too worried about Man U. They haven't got a lot of players who have that really caused us a problem. I used to be worried about Rashford somehow doing something. Diallo from the last time when he played against us and he forced a heart attacks. It's only Fernandez, to be honest, who I think could do something. But we get into his head every time in the Tottenham game. We get into his head all the time, especially Maddison as well, and his back. So yeah, I'm not too worried about them. Yeah, Man U will be something because it's Man U. They've got heritage. They've got big legacy. Like it's Man U. They'll pump money into the club like always. They've got a good manager. They'll turn their thing around. That's just Man U. But right now, yeah, if we don't get 3 points tomorrow, I'll be disgusted. It'll be like a Leicester to me. That's how I'm looking at Man U. It'll be like Leicester feeling to me.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Thank you very much. Tell you what, Connor, I'll come to you. I mean, you said how you think the game will go in terms of it will be boring, but how do you feel ahead of this one in terms of a Spurs point of view? You know, there's been no game this week. Surely that helps us being a bit fresher coming into this game.
Just to reiterate, I used the wrong word. I did not mean to say boring. I just meant in terms of low quality from both sides, but it could still be an interesting game. And then, could you just repeat your question?
No, it's all right. It's absolutely fine. No, just how you're feeling ahead of the game from a Spurs point of view.
Well, I'm not feeling too unconfident, to be honest, because you should hope to beat this Man United side, and we have got a few players coming back from injuries. So, to be honest, I think we can win. I don't think it will be that United are all over us. It's how Tottenham have been recently, where we'll go through spells. So we'll probably start the game maybe well, and then they'll go down the other end, score first goal, and then it will be upwards battle. But to be honest, I just think we'll beat United. I just don't see us losing that game tomorrow. And if we do, it will probably be very toxic online, as it always has been for the last few weeks or months, all season.
It certainly has been.
No,
Thank you, Connor.
I just don't feel that we'll lose tomorrow. I really can't see it.
No, thanks. Justin, you said you're feeling confident. Rachel, how do you feel about this one?
What Tottenham's going to turn up? All I can keep hearing and say, "Are you entertained?" No, I'm not entertained. I wished I was. And you had a comment on there a little while ago. I think it was from Dave, and it said about he should be sacked, and because he's gone with Daniel Levy's youth policy.
Here we are.
Part of me does agree with that, but we've got no else. So who is he meant to play? Everyone's out injured.
And he's got a job at the end of the day. He's not going to come out and say, "I'm not happy with this."
He's got a job to do. And so how can you sack him when we've got no other players? Yeah, and like I said, I don't like his formation. He should change it up, but he ain't going to. But you can't blame him playing the young ones because we ain't got anyone else. So, if anything, Levy should be sacked. because he's the one that buys these players. Everyone says, yeah, like, Andrew's the football manager. Yeah, he might be the football manager, but he don't buy these players. He has to train them and like I said, they get paid lots and lots of money for 90 minutes to stand there and go, oh, I'm hurt. Oh, I can't play for another 20 days because I have a little niggle or I'm poorly. Well, get off your bum. Other people have to go to work. So that's how I look at things. And
I know you do.
you know me, Harry. I can't hide behind anything. I say it how it is. If I get things wrong, I
Oh.
put my hands up.
No, I
But
like that. You're honest. That's what we
I'm
want.
I can't say. And yes, he should be sacked if we don't win tomorrow with the way Man United is. Yes, he should go. We're out of all the cups now, apart from one. We got kicked out of two cups in 4 days. What a joke! That's embarrassing. And we
Yeah, I
still
agree with you
had
on
the
that.
likes of Son on the pitch who hasn't been himself. They won't drop him. Why? Because of his connection that brings money into our club.
Okay, fair enough. We'll part that for another day. I think that could be a really long discussion, but thank
That
you,
one will
Rachel.
be. We definitely got to get me back on here. I'm not racist at all. I'm far from racist.
No, I know how you feel about the ownership, and yeah, you want to put the football team first. And at the moment, where I will agree with you is Son isn't performing, and
Mm.
based off his performances, they wouldn't be good enough to get in the team. But I think it's a lot of it is based on what we've got, as you said, not a lot of other options available. But you are right, he hasn't been good enough. It's as simple as that. But
And
before
he
we get
keeps
into,
crying on the telly. Well,
Mm,
yeah, you might be crying. Well, do something about it then. Stop coming on to after you lost a game and crying and saying, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. Well, then do something about it. End of discussion. Stop coming and telling us that you're sorry when you're not doing nothing on the pitch for it.
mm, fair enough. Thank you, Rachel. Bit head-to-head stats here between Tottenham and Man United. We are now unbeaten in the 5 most recent clashes with Man United, winning 3 and drawing 2. United have conceded at least twice in each of their last 4 Premier League games against us. I thought that was interesting. However, ourselves, we're winless in 7 Premier League home games, drawing 2 and losing 5. So that's not good. Man United, we talk about a recent upturn in form. They've won 4 of their past 5 games in all competitions, losing the other, which is impressive. But as I said, Diallo is their club's top scorer in the Premier League this season with 6 goals, and he is unavailable. So that's massive for us. But United have just taken 14 points from a possible 39 under Amorim. That's not a lot since he took charge in November. In fact, it's so low, only 5 sides have picked up fewer in that time. And they conceded 32 goals in 20 fixtures across all competitions since he took charge. That's an average of 1.6 per match. Obviously, it's a lot for Man United. So, yeah, a few stats there. Let's move on to lineups and what they'd look like, because we have got, positive team update. I think it's fair to say ahead of this one. Players coming back or, players close to returning, because Ange delivered that press conference on the Friday, which is good. And just to kind of recap for people who didn't see it, he said Vicario, Maddison and Udogie are all back and available for this game. Johnson and Timo Werner are back in training as well. Wilson Odebear, the latest to rejoin training, but he's back in there. Others like Solanke, Van der Ven and Romero remain out, but not too far away, 2 to 3 weeks with Charleston as well. Forgot to mention there. Connor, what would your lineup be based on what we've got available? Because Ange's in a bit of a better position now, isn't he, than he was just 6-7 days ago?
Obviously, I know we didn't play very well against Villa, but it would be a pretty similar lineup to that game. We've now got Kevin Danzo, so honestly, that's another reason why I think we'll do better, because we've actually got a couple of better players now. So we've got Danzo who will play. It will probably be Ben Davis. Will Vicario start? I think Vicario.
I think so.
Yeah, Vicario. So we'll go Vicario, Danzo and Davis, probably Porro, because they've had their rest now. That's the only reason Porro didn't start recently. I don't know whether Udogie will walk straight back into the lineup. It'll probably still be Spence.
Should he? Should he though, based on
No, he
Spence's recent
shouldn't.
performances? I don't think he should.
No, Spence all
No,
day
of course
long.
not.
And I think it's disgusting, and he should be sacked there and then if Spence is dropped. That boy has worked so hard to be where he is. He has played amazing for us. If Ange drops him through a doggy, goodbye, Ange. You should go. I hope you walk.
I'll probably go with hopefully we get to see Gray at the 6. That would be quite nice. Obviously I don't know whether he'll do it against Man United because they have got a pretty good midfield.
You could put Davis and Danso, couldn't you, as centre backs and Gray midfield? That's what I would do. I don't think he will though.
And then as for the midfield's always so hard to predict. Like we play a different midfield almost every other game.
Would you start Maddison if he's like 100% fit? Because sometimes you're better
if he's 100,
rather than bring them on and get them used to the speed of the game. You're better
if
to
he's
start
100% fit, then yes, I do think he should start. It will probably end up being Kulusevski on the right because we haven't really got. Like obviously, if Johnson's just back, then I don't think Johnson will go on the right. So it probably will be Kulusevski on the right. Maddison might then be able to be played in the middle, and then I'm assuming it will probably be someone like Basuma, Bentancur.
Doggy wouldn't walk back into my old Sunday mornings.
Yeah, there's a comment there. David Clark, Doggy wouldn't walk back into my old Sunday morning side. Well, Doggy has struggled recently, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes back after injury. But there's no escaping the fact that Spencer's done really well recently.
Well, Ange said, didn't he? He was Spence's.
I didn't like that.
No, that was bang out of order what he said, and I actually turned around and said, if that was me, I'd be like, wow, I'd be putting.
Can I ask what that was?
Yeah, he said yes, thank you. He said it's like he said something along the lines of, Jed's done well and he'll do a job till Destiny's back.
Yeah, I think that was very misconstrued. I think that's very misconstrued.
Yeah, I was going to say, apparently it was taken out of context.
The way I took it when I first heard it was the fact that he's basically saying that Jed has done a very lovely job at left back until our actual left back is back. Because let's look at it, Jed Spence is not a left back. He's done very good at left back, but I'd much rather see him play.
He's not going to drop Porro though, is he?
No, but I think there's definitely room for rotation because we're going to have Europa League and we're going to have the Premier League. So, and Spencer's now just been put in the Europa League squad as well. So
I totally get what you're saying, but I think Spence, even though it's not his position, has been better defensively.
All of our players have been played that position. No, it's not Gray. He's been played that position. All of our players have all been, and they've all stepped up to what they need to do. Gray and Spence, in my eyes. I like the look of our new player. I felt sorry for Austin. I don't think he should have been dropped. That new goalkeeper comes in, bang, everyone loves him, and lets those goals in. He's another Ricardius.
I think with Austin, he knows his role at the club. He's been there for quite some time.
17. He was 17.
And he knows, it will all be in his contract sort of thing that he is third choice. And I don't think he himself would even have been disappointed when Kinski come in because he knows that's going to happen.
Basuma should be gone.
Yeah, I don't want Basuma here anymore.
He keeps making mistakes. Every time the last few goals, it's been because of him. It's because he's made silly mistakes.
He shoots a lot as well, doesn't he? I think he's scored a couple of really good goals from distance, and now every opportunity he shoots when there's chances to cross it in the box. That's the problem. But Rachel, what would be your lineup?
Oh, it's really hard. It's really hard. Definitely Spence, without a doubt.
Yeah. Do you start both the new boys, Tell, Danso?
Do you know what? I actually feel Tell with all day long. Right, when we played and he scored the other night, he was being bad-mouthed. Right, just before he scored, people going, "Oh, he's crap. He's this. He's that. He's this. He's that." And I was like, "He's played 2 games. He's been thrown in the deep end of
Yeah.
it, and he's got to get used to playing over here." How people could slag him off was out of order after 2 games. Can't do that. Right, and so yeah, I would play Tell. I'd play other new player. I thought he worked really well. I thought he'd done really good. Oh, I think Son should be dropped, but he won't be. I think Bazuma shouldn't even be even in on the team news, but he will be. Poro, Gray, Ben Davis. I think I'm pretty much saying what Connor's saying. The goalkeepers wise, oh, I think really number 1 goalkeeper it should be, to be honest, because but then he's just coming back from injury, so I'm. Is he going to be? Is he rushed back like Mickey was? Because he was rushed.
I think keeper's easy to play though, isn't he? He's not quite as involved in the action. I think Vicario, out of anyone, I think are more likely to start. I reckon, but I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully Madison starts, because I think Angie's got a issue with Madison. I really do think.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you, Justin. What are your thoughts in terms of your lineup? And also, Rachel mentions James Maddison there. How do you view the whole situation with him? I see it as a little bit of both, but I don't think he's been consistent enough when he has been fit.
With Madison, to be honest, it's the position he plays for us. It's not going to be like the normal 10 where he was at Leicester. He actually has to work in our midfield. And I just think on the level of fitness, I just don't think and trust him to able to tackle, run all the way back, and then run forward and build up attacks as well. I just don't think Ange thinks he can do that over a whole 90 minutes. But if I'm correct, he's still our top goal scorer in the Prem, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
So
he's certainly up there.
it's one of them. Yeah, so it's he's needed. It's very hard to do what Ange wants to do and fit, say, Kulusevski in there and Madison in there in the middle of midfield, and then get someone who's actually going to tackle and do that gritty side of the game as well. But our lineup, to be honest, Ange baffles me every single time with the lineup. So to be honest, I'd expect it to be Davis, Danso, Porro, and Spence, but knowing him, he's got to put Gray in defence somewhere, somehow. He has to do it just so he can talk about it later on. Ideally, all our midfielders need to get dropped minus Bergvall. So I'd be playing Gray and Bergvall in there. I don't care. It's Man United. When are we going to see this guy play in midfield? I don't care anymore. I've had enough of waiting. The last time we got to see him was literally the first game against Everton, and he brought him on in the 70th minute for Basuma. Other than that, this guy will not touch midfield. So I don't care. Just do it against Man U. Instead of waiting for Ipswich and then another player gets injured, I prefer us to just throw him in midfield there. Go with Bergvall as well. That's 2 people just got to run their arse off and have something to prove. I'd play Madison as well if he's fit. Johnson, I'm not really a fan either way, but if he's fit, obviously put him on the bench. I don't want Kulu on the right. But see, if Spence was right back, I wouldn't mind.
It's good to have.
I wouldn't mind Kulu. Yeah, no, it's great. We need the options, but if we had Spence right back, I wouldn't mind Kulu being as right wing, because then I know someone's definitely got that bit covered. But if Porro's up there and then Kulu's cutting in, there's just so much space on that side. It kills me every single game. But I feel like Till's got to get a brace at least. He's got something to prove. You turn down the big Man United, and your first Premier League game is against Man United. It's written in the stars. It's just written in the stars, or a red card. one of the two. But it's written in the
let's
stars
go
for
with the
something
first
big
one.
to happen.
Let's go
Let's
with
go with
the
the
first
first one.
one.
But I do think Vic will play as well because Ange
Yeah.
sounded a bit pressed when they said, "Is he still the number one keeper?" He snapped back about that, so it shows he wants to throw Vic back in there. But I've got no problems with Kinski anyway. He's 21 years old. If that's what our 21-year-old keeper's saying, and then we've got Keeley out there doing his bit for Leighton Orient as well. We're looking good. We're looking good. We won't have to rely on the Whitemans and the Forsters to maybe have to make an appearance for next season. So, but yeah, to be honest, I just think he's got to go with the same midfield. Or to be honest, the same team what he played against Villa. To be honest, I even think Basuma might even start. This is my problem with Ange. He worries me with the midfield. I never know what he's going to actually do, and he likes to play players who are out form to maybe get him back into form. I know you have to do that, but yeah, it's a worry. And Son is the captain, so no matter what, not many teams drop their captain. I'm still waiting for people to give me a long list of teams who just drop their captain when they're playing shit. Other than Man U, where they fully just drop Maguire, they just don't do it. And normally, your captain's like a defender, so it's not really too. They're not really going to be the big problem. But when it's the guy you're waiting to score your goals and everything, yeah. But I don't think Son's washed though. I just think he needs a rest. I think he needs like a little 2 weeks off, and then just let him come back fresh. None of this pressing no more. Just let him just stand up front and just wait for the ball over the top.
Yeah, for me, it's about reduce his overload. Yeah, I agree with you. Still get the best out of him. Like Liverpool, I think even with Salah, I think they've asked him to do less under Arne Slot. If you look at the distance he's covered, it's less than ever, but the end product is higher than ever. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Before we get on to score predictions, let's go to this question in the chat from the Loyal Royal. Big up, mate, for tuning in. He says, where do you guys stand on Ange being manager? Obviously, we have touched on it, but let's go round again. New week, fresh week, and where we stand on it. Justin, I'll come back to you. Ange Postecoglou, still, behind him. Give him a little bit more time.
No. To be honest, I was banned from last year, but we still got him. Yeah, it's just been too inconsistent for me. I get it, loads of injuries, and if everyone really deeped how many injuries we had and did that minus to every one of the big six, big eight teams, yeah, people would actually understand where we are. But there's been many times where you could have rotated the team. I know there's certain players who we don't want to have to see, but they're in your squad. And to save from getting players injured, there's many ways how you could change it up tactically where I know you want to go gung ho, but there's certain times where you can just tell certain people, don't push forward, tell the midfielders, sit back a little bit. Just little tweaks. But I get it. That's the style of football he wants to play, and he'll live him down that sword, but not with my club. So yeah, me personally, I wouldn't have gone. I don't really want to see Matt Wells as the manager, but it's getting to the point that people keep telling me that he's going to win a cup. I've watched us go out of 2 cups. Now I'm supposed to think that we're going to beat either AZ or obviously Galatasaray could turn it around. But yeah, I've just got no confidence in him whatsoever. So yeah, I'm fully Ange out.
Fully Ange out from Justin. Okay, that's interesting. Connor, I come to you. You are, correct me if I'm wrong, strongly behind Ange Postecoglou. But since last time we spoke, we are out of both cup competitions. Does that change your mind whatsoever? Or are you still behind the gaffer?
I think it would have been a bit reactionary of me to then change my mind, just because we went out the cups. Because the situation that the squad is in has not changed one bit throughout that time. So for me to then go, oh, but we're at the cups, but there's a reason we're at the cups. Look at the squad. The squad is paper thin.
Yeah.
We've had all these injuries, and I know people will say, because you see people all the time saying, "Oh, blame it on injuries," sort of thing, and it's like, yeah, but they are there. You can't ignore them, and as well, look back to the summer. We got one senior signing, which was Solanke. You could make an argument for Gray because he's very mature for his age, but technically it's one senior signing. And then the year before that, signed a few players. It was probably a better window than this summer's one. But then, as these injuries happen, and people start blaming it on the manager, at the same time, this board, they're the ones who looked at him at Celtic, looked at the way he plays. They know the players he needs. Get him those players. And fair play, they have in certain aspects. Van der Ven's brilliant for the system. Johnson, if all the pieces are there for the system, I think Johnson would do better. We don't need players like Son anymore. Son's aging, but at the same time, we need someone who can back up Son. It's a thing of squad depth for me, and that's what I am still Anjin, and he's got until the end of the season. If obviously we start to sink and sink and sink, and then we go 17th or 18th, then I'm like, okay, maybe something needs to be done now. But the situation we're in now is not due to the manager, and I think that's obvious.
Okay. No, thank you, Connor. Again, sticking with what you think. Again, like I said with Rachel earlier, I do appreciate that. Again, it's honesty, and all three of you have been honest tonight, and the way you feel. And there are some real contrasts in your opinions out there. You've got Justin strongly Ange out, you're strongly Ange in. Rachel, I'll come to you next. Your reaction to something else as this conversation has been getting underway. I assume that you
Hello.
are not behind Ange. Oh,
Sorry, Alfie keeps ringing me.
that's all right. Yeah, I assume you're not behind him.
This is like I was Anjin all the way. I was like, no, you can't keep blaming injuries for. We have gone out of 2 cups, so he could have. You're on the phone too. Sorry, I'm on Harry's podcast. Yeah, so there's one part. Like I said, we will repeat ourselves. The reason our players is that small is because of Daniel Levy. I think you heard that, Harry.
I did hear that in the background, yeah.
And like I said, I feel that Ange has been the puppet again on a string that will take all the fall. And how many times can we sack a manager? And we've gone downhill. Like you've said that you're not Ange out. So sitting 13th in the league is good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. When we're a top 4, not bottom. Alf, get off! Watching it. Go upstairs and watch it on your phone. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're down at the bottom. That's not us. We shouldn't be there, and we are. It's embarrassing. And Harry Scarfe. Yeah. Andy in. Alf, go away. I've taught him well. He was leaving in a couple. He's 17-year-old. He was leaving in, and like I said, I've always been leaving out. But he has now turned around and went, you know what? Enough's enough, Mum.
You converted him. Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate you all giving your thoughts on that. For me, I find it hard at the moment. For me, you give him till the end of the year based on the managerial market. There isn't a lot out there at the moment. I think he'd be very unlucky with injuries. I think he has a right, as Connor says, for these players to come back and him to be given that chance to turn it around. I don't think there's any benefit in getting rid of him now. I think you can have a serious, grown-up conversation in the summer about what direction you want to take as a club. But I just don't see the benefit in doing it now. I think we've seen that United, Amarin, even like different example, West Ham Potter. That new manager just hasn't worked. The exception, though, would be Everton with Moyes. That has worked, but I think their situation is very different to ours. And I don't believe that we can get dragged into that 17th, 18th, that kind of battle. I do think, along with Man United, we're find ourselves kind of mid-table at the end of the season, which isn't good enough. I totally understand that. But for me, the blame does lie with the board, as Connor said. I think you've all said as well throughout tonight in terms of, his hands are tied. He hasn't been given a lot. Certainly not innocent, but it's hard when you give someone not a lot to work with. You're not going to get
the money that we've got coming through them doors. We should have players we can call on. Fit it like Man City, whether it's oil, them down the road, they have got players that can come onto the pitch to do a job. We haven't. We're
At the
literally,
moment, they actually don't either. They were screaming for a forward and they didn't get one. And
yeah, but
then
they won
Havertz went
today,
and got
didn't
injured
they?
as well.
2-0 against
Yeah,
Leicester.
but of course they're going to win
We've got
today.
like,
This Arsenal's on a different league to what we're even on.
but they
But I mean, as
wasn't.
in their fans
They
wanted the
wasn't a
playoff
couple
and
of
they didn't
years
get one.
ago. They wasn't a couple of years ago. They wasn't on a different league to us. We was exactly. We was finishing higher than them. They were below. They was fifth. Now they're flying. Yeah, they bottled the league twice, but they're still higher than us. They're still in Champions League. Well, where are we? So no, not when it goes. Arsenal are not in a different league to us at all.
I think they are now, but I know what you mean in terms of why they are. That it's on, it's our own doing. I get that, but I think right now that they are. I just don't think we can compete with teams like. I think Liverpool proved that, for example, in the Carabao Cup game. They're just another league. It's scary. I think the gap between us and
They
other
won't be
teams.
up,
And,
Liverpool,
yeah,
because they're
so
going to play Plymouth and lose. Why couldn't they lose against for us? They could have get. They're going to win the cup. I was so angry. I was like, what? I was like, Slot, you're out of order,
well,
mate.
it's like with Spurs, isn't it? What was it the other two? That's it, Leicester. That they haven't won in like ages, and their only win come against us, and they went on a bad losing run again. They
Dr.
haven't changed any
Tottenham
form.
appears.
I think a lot of
Best.
it is we're unlucky, but in terms of Liverpool go full strength against us, understandably, and rest players against Plymouth. But a lot of it is you just think, come on, Spurs, you've got to be doing better in these situations. But score predictions then ahead of this game. Again, mixed thoughts on the panel. Connor, what are you thinking? Oh, I can't hear you, Connor. Your audio might have dropped.
Sorry, someone was calling me and it wouldn't let me speak.
Oh, that's all right.
I think we could win 2 or 3-1.
2 or 3-1 again, going for a win. Justin, come on, you've talked it big tonight. You're saying we're going to win. I'm expecting a nice Spurs win in your prediction. Am I right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm either going back Connor with the 3-1 or I'm gonna push it to the 4-1. We'll definitely let in a goal. Vic's first game back, and it's just what Tottenham do. But I just feel like we're gonna batter them. Just to change up the whole bit of we've got a big ass protest, what people about to do sitting, and then Tottenham and just go and smash United
Yeah,
4-1
that's happened
and everyone's
before.
singing and dancing. I just can see it happening. It's written there.
Yeah, I'm saying 2-2, but you are right. We do it all the time. We go and do a massive protest, and then as soon as we're winning, Spurs fans are flapping their hands and going, "Oh, Levy's the best slice of butter." No, we want Levy out. Win, lose or draw, Levy out. Get out of our club. So this is
Are you
where I
there?
say,
Are you going to the game, Rachel, at the weekend and you'd be at the
I'm not
protest?
giving Daniel Levy my money.
I see.
I love Tottenham, you know I do, but I can't justify it. It's boring. It's not entertaining for me.
Will you
It's
be at the
entertaining.
protest or not?
I'm thinking about coming. It all depends on my heart in the morning.
Of course.
But I'm always at my healthiest. Just come on, Levy out. Enough.
There you go. He thinks the same as you.
Mm.
No, thank you very much. I agree with you in terms of 2-2. I think that there still will be goals, but I get where Connor and others come from in terms of how the game might look at a different point of view. It might be tight, it might be tense, and it might not be so easy on the eye. So, yeah, it could go either way. You just don't know, but it's still a big game. Both teams want a result. But I think that kind of wraps us up nicely. Thank you to everyone for this additional episode. There'll also be an additional episode previewing Ipswich as well as the Monday show where we'll be reviewing the United win. United win. Hopefully United win. United result. Yeah, because I'm on not half term, so fingers crossed. I've got last score prediction in the chat. Alfie goes 3-0 to Spurs, Madison, Tell and Kulu. That's what we want, a clean sheet as well. But no, I think that does wrap us up nicely. No, we're not keeping a clean sheet, are we?
We don't know what that is.
No, it doesn't seem to be anyway. Maybe in the Europa League, that's
I
about
just
it.
want us to end now. Do you know what? I just want it over and done with.
Season,
a repeat every season until Daniel Levy goes, until the ball's gone. We're going to be back here again this time next season. I said, I say this every season, and I'm sitting on your show again, saying the same thing as I said 2 years ago.
No, I was going to say not a lot's changed, has it, in a couple of years?
No, it hasn't. It's got worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because last time you come on, we're in Champions League, I think. So
Mm.
it has got worse. Thank you, though, all of you for coming on. Where can people find you across social media? Let's start with you, Connor. Plug your socials.
Same place as usual on Twitter under Things Hotspur.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Good stuff. Rachel, welcome back. It's great to have you back. Hope you enjoyed
I've loved it.
your first one back of the season. Where can people find you, though?
I'm on Facebook under Rach Freeman. I'm on TikTok under Rachel Jackson. Rachel Mum to 8. I am on Twitter as well under Rachel. Yeah, I've got so many different names. I go by Jackson or Freeman. So yeah, I'm on different platforms. Come and talk to me. I talk about anything Spurs, ADHD, autism, everything.
Yeah, 100%. Because like myself, you're an advocate for people with special needs, aren't you?
Yes,
As
I
well. So,
am.
yeah,
I have
thank you for that.
kids that's got ADHD and autism. I have it myself as well. So yes, I'm happy to talk to anyone. If people have got any signs or issues that they feel like they need to, just drop me a message and I will help where I can.
Appreciate that. I always make time for that on the podcast as someone who's autistic myself. So, and I really appreciate the work you do, Rachel. So thank you very much. But
You're
yeah, to
welcome.
people as well, please do like and subscribe. Drop us a follow, 5-star review if you're listening after. But also, Justin, thank you very much, my friend, for coming on. Where can people find you across the socials? Because you're active as well.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. The Rat Show. I'm there just chatting Tottenham. And yeah, man, just up the
I think
Tottenham
my
at all
Uncle John
times, man.
watches you and
Okay,
he's an
nice.
Arsenal fan.
Hey, go on. I got Arsenal family, so they love me, man. They always love me.
Yeah, I think my Uncle John does watch you.
There you go. Secret follower, secret admirer. Thank you very much. You always be admired when you come on here. So thank you to all of you. And a massive comment, you Spurs. Thank you very much to the chat. Hopefully next time you'll be hearing from me is after Spurs win against Man United. That's what we all want. However we feel about the ownership, about the board, regardless, whether it changes anything, we just want to see us win a game. It's been a while. Up the Spurs.